Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dev, aka the Node Variable here, back at you with another commentary. And I'll be honest, guys, it's no secret we've had a lot to digest regarding Black Ops 6 over the last 24 hours, and of course, this got me thinking about some of the new features we saw on display. The main one that stuck out to me was the new omnidirectional movement. Now, I wish I was saying this stuck out to me positively, but unfortunately, from what I saw, omnidirectional movement was extremely underwhelming, to say the least. However, take all of this with a grain of salt, since the gameplay we saw was from an early build of the game. Everything is subject to change. Anyways, I wasn't the only one who thought this, and I'd like to share a comment with you guys that I got in my last video regarding this exact topic. This comment is from Swan62116, and he said, "Remember how tac stance was marketed for Modern Warfare 3? Even though when the game launched, people barely used it. The same thing is going to happen with omnidirectional movement." Now, this comment really got me thinking. Is omnidirectional movement the new tactical stance? Is this feature going to be so terribly underwhelming that it'll be widely ignored by the vast majority of the community? Or will this movement system be fairly polished come release time and surprise us all by being one of the most innovative movement features we've seen in a Call of Duty title to date? Well, if I'm being honest, the answer to that question is not clear and definitive. So I'm going to do what most sane individuals do, and that is make a pros and cons list like I'm Walter White from Breaking Bad. I'll add what I feel are the pros and cons of the situation, and you guys can chime in through the comment section if you have anything you'd like to add. So starting off with the pros, and I feel like this is one of the biggest positives of Omni movement, and that's the full 360-degree range of motion. In short, this allows you to move your character forwards, backwards, sideways, etc., all in one fluid motion. It's hard to explain, but basically imagine being able to move faster in any given direction. This will help with various different playstyles from the rushers all the way down to the pre-aimers. It should be noted that this works in the prone position as well, so perhaps the days of prone block are behind us. We can only hope. Pro number 2 is the diving feature. If you guys haven't looked it up, I'd highly suggest looking at the leaked gameplay so you can see what I mean with the diving. This dive is directional and you're able to fire while in the middle of it. This will definitely make things more interesting for Warzone and multiplayer, and I can't say for sure if it's going to be a positive or negative, but it does seem like it'll speed up the game to an extent, so I felt like putting it in the pros column was fair. However, we will circle back to the diving feature in the cons column in just a minute. The final pro I do have here is the general pacing. Now, it should be noted that none of us really know how this is going to work in practice, so I'm just assuming that the new movement system will speed up the pacing of the game. I guess only time will tell. With that being said, however, now it's time to move on to the cons list. The most glaring one for me from the leaked gameplay is the fact that it seems very situational. The dive itself looks cool, but how often will it be used? Or on the flip side, how often will it be abused? Call of Duty already has issues with being cameraed. Will this dive be another way that players could break cameras? Let's take the dive to the side, for example. Since you're able to shoot while in this dive, will this be something that breaks the camera so badly that you either adapt or die? There's two sides to the coin, and I just feel like diving could introduce a plethora of issues into both Warzone and multiplayer. Another con with the movement is the fact that you're able to lay on your back now while aiming. This is something that could be abused by campers on a mass scale, and sure, you could just say skill issue and the players need to adapt, but let's be honest here. Don't we all hate being killed by campers? Anyways, the final con is the fact that the movement itself looks similar to the current game, with tactical sprints still being present and overall character movement looking fairly clunky. At least in the early build we saw. Like I said earlier, all of this is subject to change. If I'm being honest though, guys, I hope this is just the case of seeing an early build and Omni movement is actually polished and balanced come release time for Black Ops 6. I've been around the Call of Duty franchise for going on 15 years now. I remember the times they tried to market Fish AI as a whole new innovative feature. I remember tac stance being marketed as this whole new amazing feature. I remember leaning being added to the game and it ended up being gimmicky. There's tons of examples you can use, and I think it's fair to be a little bit cautious regarding Omni movement. These large corporations try and sell us these new features every year and market it as this whole new groundbreaking feature that will change the game forever, and 90% of the time it ends up being something that people forget about when the next Call of Duty title releases. My opinion on the whole system is that I think it'll add things that people like, and I think it'll add things that people hate. And in the end, I genuinely believe it will be underwhelming for most most players. I do really hope I'm wrong though, and Omni movement ends up being a success, but I personally do not see that happening. Either way, let me know how you guys feel in the comment section below. Do you think that Omni movement is the new tac stance? Do you think this is just going to be a gimmicky feature that they will never add back to the game? Is this a one and done? It's going to be for Black Ops 6 and then Omni movement's out the door the next release. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section below. Make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed today. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and don't forget to turn that notification bell on so you never miss when I upload a video. And I catch everybody in the next one. Peace.
I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be